Hi folks, Rich Pasini from rjpasini-com. I'm coming to you this evening to just share something with you, and maybe if you have any comments or feedback you want to give me, that'd be fine. If not, that's fine as well. It pertains to the buyer, and I guess being a seller, we have to learn to deal with the buyer's request and honor that the buyer is always right and stuff like that when it comes to certain things, certain situations. The reason I'm making this video is because I was on my Facebook website, and somebody had posted on there. It's one of the groups I belong to, and they post on there. You notice the buyers on eBay are getting very disgruntled or whatever. They're getting like very rude, and I don't know if it's because if it's the time of the year, that everyone's hustling, bustling, trying to order stuff from the sellers and trying to get things out and so on and so forth. And anyway, in that group, that eBay group I belong to, someone posted there, said that they had an item and the buyer got it and they weren't satisfied with it, and the buyer and the seller said, I'll take care of it for you, send it back, and so on. And the seller was concerned that could the buyer still leave a negative feedback? And this person acknowledged the seller, saying yes, that's their choice. Okay, now I personally think that's wrong. If a buyer, if you're willing to negotiate with a buyer, and the buyer, accepts your offer, it should be okay. That should be, it should be set in stone. That's it. They accepted your offer. Leave it at that. If the buyer doesn't want to leave a positive feedback, then fine. It's better for him or her not to leave a feedback, because if it's going to be, you don't want them to leave a negative one, and if they're not going to leave a positive, they don't want to leave a positive one because they're not happy with the service. And what brings this up, in case you're wondering, is I sold an item to a buyer, and in the description I put down it was new. Now, the item I picked up was a stuffed doll, and I wrote on there, it was new, but without tags. Now, either two things could happen. Either as a seller, we pick up items at thrift stores and we look at that item and we say to ourselves, we look at it and we say this thing's very pristine, it's clean, whatever. I'm going to list it as new. Now, the item might not have tags, okay? But in your mind, you picked this item up and you said, hey, this looks brand spanking new to me. It's just that it's missing a tag. So with that in mind, I picked up the item and it looked pristine and clean to me. However, and I listed as new without tags. However, the buyer got it and they were very disgruntled. Sent me an email. This is not a new item. I'm very unsatisfied. Well, anyway, I'm stuck with it, something like that, something along that line. So I emailed the buyer back and I said, I'm very sorry that you're not satisfied with the item you purchased. Please send it back and I'll give you a full refund, and I left it at that. I didn't I didn't mitigate with the person, go back and forth and, why you feel this way, why you feel that. The person wanted to blow off steam, and that's what they did. So my thing is, here's my question. If you pick up an item in a store, thrift store, or a yard sale, garage sale, whatever, and the item looks brand spanking new, in your opinion, it looks brand spanking, looks like it was never touched, never handled, no wear marks or anything like that, but it has no tags on it, do you in turn take it that it's new without tags? And if you look at it the way I do, that's what I did. I took it that it was a new item without tags. And it's got to be acknowledged by eBay because they have in their description or condition new without tags. And then it gives you a little definition of what they refer to without the tags. Is it missing something? Is it got scuff marks or in other words, they give you little conditions with that. So, I guess when we're making, as sellers, we got to be making a presentation of an item. We got to do either a due diligence and researching what we're selling, and to look at it from the buyer's perspective. I mean, when you go into a store and you pick something up and you see it looks in pristine condition, the first thing that's going to come to your mind is, am I going to sell this for new without tags? Is it going to be pre-owned? How am I going to sell this? But in your mind, you're saying this looks brand spanking new. It's just that the tag is missing. So that's one of my questions I have to other sellers out there, or how they would handle it. And the other thing is when you get a buyer that you're willing to take it back, and they don't respond to you, do you further, go and entail yourself to contact the buyer again, or you just leave that, you make that first, that first offer as far as refunding their money, or if they don't acknowledge it, just leave it be. It's funny because when it comes to the buyers, I'm not speaking against them. Okay, the buyers are who keeps us in business. But what makes me laugh is that, when you're selling these items, unless it's an ironclad thing, unless if people have a different view on it, and they say, well, Rich, technically, if you're picking something up in the store, even though it looks brand new to you, you shouldn't sell it for new without tags. But it's not. The thing is not like disheveled or anything. It's not like a ripped item. It's not destroyed. It doesn't have stains on it or anything of that nature. What I think happens sometimes is the buyer might have made a mistake in buying it, and they don't find a viable excuse to send it back or whatever. They just want to complain. Look, I sell things. I'm upfront and honest. If you don't like something, send it back. You don't have to give me excuses. You don't have to tell me, oh, well, it's not new, or it looks like it has damage on it, stuff like that. That's why I do the videos. I do these videos to, give a heads up to the buyer as to what they get. Now, I didn't sit there and talk. I mean, when I did the sneak peek, of course, sure. So I showed the doll, with the little stuffed dolls I was selling, But apparently, no matter how thorough you are, what I'm trying to say is, no matter how thorough you are in your description, no matter what, someone's always going to find a flaw with your service. So my thing is if anybody experienced anything like that, they want to share it, and how did you circumvent the problem? As far as like the that on that my Facebook, on the eBay group, it's one of these people that started an eBay group. One of the sellers was saying there that a lot of buyers seem to be very nasty. Right away, they type your letters, type your emails, and they're very vibrant in their ways. And like I had one guy, when I sold a software disk, I sold him software and it wasn't there. Well, I suggest you find it and mail it to me. Another one, I sold a Sony radio. Well, it better work. I'll get the AC adapter. It better work. And I mean, I don't know why people have to, be so arrogant in their ways when talking to you. I mean, us sellers are probably the nicest people on the planet here. We're trying to do the right thing by them, and people always seem to, just want to say their side of the story. They don't want to hear anything else. But anyway, I just wanted to share that with you. I'm not that I'm saying it bothers me, but I just wanted to get that out there and see what you people, what the other sellers think about it. And if there's buyers out there that want to share their experiences as to, is it the wrong thing to do? eBay puts it in their conditions, new without tags. So it's an open line. It's an open statement there, so to speak. If you buy something, you pick something up, and it doesn't have tags on it, that's why I guess eBay had that there. They probably put that in there, new without tags. I mean, if something look, you could tell. I mean, you don't have to be a rocket scientist to see something that's faded, worn, or scratched. Like the items I sell, a lot of them are pre-owned. I'm not going to sell something that's scratched and say, hey, this is brand new or whatever. And the only time something like that would happen I mean, I kind of like contradicted myself in that part, but the only time something like that would happen, if you did buy something new with the tags, whatever it may be, I can't say for sure, for sure, but if it was something electronic and it did have the tag on it, or was in its packaging, whatever, and there was a little flaw on it, maybe had a little scratch on something, or maybe a little chip or whatever, you could still say new without tags, or new, but be very descriptive and tell them why it's new, and why you say it's new if it's got a little damage on it, I don't know. I'm just saying, it's a loaded question, and that's why I wanted to find out how other people deal with it there. I do things, like I said, when I do my videos, I do these videos as an intro, to let you give, like I said in earlier videos, to give the buyers a heads up. So, I don't know if this buyer is going to leave a negative feedback. If I got one, and I suggest any seller that does get one, especially if you're in the right, fight it. I mean, it depends how detrimental you are with eBay, keeping, a good name, or you want to, like, if you're a top-rated seller, you want to maintain that status. So if you get stuff like that there, where you get a buyer that's gonna, give you, threaten you with a negative feedback, and they do leave a negative feedback or neutral, don't be hesitant. Contact eBay, and try to, work that and see if you can work something out. The eBay will probably tell you, well, that's between you and the buyer to work it out. But the thing is, if you're working it out and the buyer he wants to run and retract his negative feedback. I think I had a situation like this once before with eBay back in the past, before he became a top-rated seller, and I don't know if it was eBay's 30-day policy. It had some kind of policy. There was like some kind of a time limit where it had to be done right away by the buyer. And I said, I forget what it was exactly, why the person left it, but they later retracted and wanted to retract it, and I notified eBay, and the buyer even agreed to notify eBay. And they said they couldn't do anything. eBay couldn't do anything. So needless to say, it was a negative feedback, and it stood on my thing. I think it stays for a whole year, if I'm not mistaken. I could be wrong. But anyway, that's what was going on with that. But, I'm just trying to say, like, with the situation with buyers, or anybody in general, you really, us sellers and the buyers are sellers as well. Why don't we use a little diplomacy? Why don't we try to work things out? And we don't have to be so vibrant in our things. If you get something that's broken or arrives broken, you don't have to sit there and start chewing out the seller. Say, hey, I mean, look, if I sold something, a fragile item, and it got broken on delivery because poor packaging, I would take it on the chin. I'd say, you know what, I'm wrong. I'm dead to wrong. I deserve it. A person said, well, if you're dead to wrong, would you, if the buyer left a negative feedback, would you still try to fight it? It depends the circumstance. It depends. I mean, I could have packed it really well, the item, and maybe the carrier dropped it off, off the conveyor belt, or maybe when it was getting it from the truck to the person, it might have tripped, dropped the box on the floor. It depends the circumstance. But I'll look at it this way. I want to try to keep a good record. Okay, I want to try to have 100% positive feedback. I want to keep the buyers happy, and this is the way I want to conduct my business. Okay. I can't, like I said, I don't know how other people, how they feel about doing their business on eBay, but that's how I am. And I stand by what I say, and I will pursue, if someone did leave me negative feedback, I would pursue trying to get it removed any which way I can. But the other thing I want to do is I wanted to also share an update with you guys on the ship. I was mailing out a wooden ship with the sails on it, and it was going to California, and it was sent out, I think, last Saturday, and I got an email, I think it was yesterday, from the buyer, and the person said the ship arrived safe and sound. So I emailed him back, or him, her, and I told the person, I said, thank you very much for letting me know. I was thinking about it all weekend. So if you've seen the video of me packing that ship, the Santa Maria, I think it was, that little wooden ship with the sails, it worked. It worked. The way I made that base, it worked. So if anybody's sending stuff like that out in the future. If you watch that videotape I did, I didn't show you from the beginning to the end of how I actually did it, how I cut the box. I made a base out of it, but it was pretty cut and dry. But anyway, I just wanted to share it with you. The buyer did get it. They got it in one piece. Thank God for that. And he was very well. He or she was very happy with it, and that made my day. So that's basically all I want to share with you guys. And like I said, in regards to the buyers, I'm not saying anything negative against the buyers. I know sometimes we all go through our time. We all have our moments and stuff like that. And maybe you order things and it wasn't what you expected. Hey, I've done it too. I bought stuff not from eBay, but when I buy stuff at the store, I bring it home and I say, hey, this isn't what I need, or I need to change it, or I need to return it. It's not what I really wanted. Whatever. We all do it. I mean, we do it at department stores. We do it online. It happens. That's just the way it works. But I'm just curious if you guys have if anybody out there has any experiences like that in regards to picking up merchandise in a thrift store or garage sale, yard sale, whatever, and the item looks brand spanking new to you. Will you be listing it on eBay as new without tags? Or would you just say pre-owned because it doesn't have tags on it? I mean, to me, like I said, that's the only. I mean, this was the first time that actually happened to me as far as a person saying something along that line. Because I've had items in the past that I bought, it didn't have tags on it, and I did put it for new, and I never got a complaint. But yeah, these things happen. But I just wanted to give you a heads up on it there. If anybody's got anything they want to share with me on that there, please do leave a comment, whatever. And again, like I said, if you like if you like my channel, you like the videos I put out, you could subscribe. If you like the content in the video, you can give it a thumbs up. If not, that's fine. Like I said, I do this here to enlighten the buyers and the sellers. If I come across anything I think of interest that you may be interested in, I'll share it with you. And that's basically it. But I just want to say thanks a lot, guys. And if you got any comments or questions, you could email. You could put them in the YouTube channel comments, or you could email me at rjpasini@verizon.net. And share your thoughts with us and me and all the other people out there, buyers and sellers. All right. Thanks again. Have a great night, great day, and talk to you soon. Thanks. Bye.